Hey guys, and welcome to episode number 46 of the Happy Knitting Podcast. My name is Julia, and I'm coming to you today from sunny Germany on the 11th of July 2016. Thank you so much for deciding to spend a little bit of your time with me today. If you're a regular viewer, then thank you so much for sticking with me and coming back, even though it's been a little bit crazy lately. And if you're checking me out for the first time, then thank you ever so much, and I really hope that you will like it and that maybe you will become a subscriber and participate in our Ravelry group and all that, because I really appreciate you guys. So first of all, where you can find me, you can find me on Ravelry as Wupfi, which is WUEPFI. You can find me on Instagram as the Happy Knitting Podcast, and my the Ravelry group for this podcast is the Happy Knitting Podcast group, which you can find under the Groups tab on Ravelry. So in that group, we have an introduction thread, which I would really like if you introduce yourself, just so I get an idea of who I'm actually talking to. Then that's where I host all of the knit-alongs, and I have an Ask Away thread where you can ask me questions, and I will answer them on the podcast, or if you want me to answer them privately, then I will do so. What else? We have a shameless self-promotion thread, so if you are a maker, you can feel free to post whatever you're making or selling on Etsy on there. And there's all sorts of stuff going on there, so if you want to join, that would be fantastic. So today I have 3 FOs, 3 works in progress, no spinning, and a little bit of acquisitions and life in general. But first of all, let me talk about the Squishy Cow, which is running at the moment. So the Squishy Cow is a knit-along for my latest design, which is the Squishylicious shawl. And if you're knitting my previous design, the Crazy Days shawl, you can also enter that. Originally, the Squishy Cow was going to run until the end of July, but I have created a poll on Ravelry because I have noticed that a few people have only started their shawls. So I asked you guys if you want me to extend the deadline, and so far everyone has told me yes, please extend the deadline, so I will definitely do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to extend it until the middle or the end of August, so if you want, let me know. If 2 weeks more would be enough for you, or if you'd rather have time until the end of August, just let me know. And if you haven't voted on Ravelry, maybe do so just so I have a better idea. But I'm totally happy to extend the deadline because I totally understand. So for prizes, we have the project bag that Katrina, who is a lovely viewer in the UK, donated. I have shown that in the last few episodes, I believe, so I'm not going to show that today. But it's a beautiful bag with a sewing print, and she also included a DPN cozy. We also have some new chatter prizes, which I'll probably get more into later. So if you have been knitting your Squishylicious shawl, please make sure to enter it into the finished objects thread and participate in the chatter thread, and that's that. Moving on to finished objects, I have 3 finished objects. The first one is a pair of shorty socks that I knit for my sister, and I have already gifted them to her, so I will put in a photo here. So the yarn that I used was a German indie dyed yarn from Strickoholic on Davanda, and I will of course link that in the show notes. So the postman just came and delivered some yarn. So that of course means that I have no idea what I was talking about. But somehow I was talking about my sister's socks, which I finished. I used this a glitter sock yarn from Strickoholic on Davanda. And I cast on 60 stitches. I did 10 rows of 2x2 ribbing, 10 rows of stockinette, and then a fishnet's kiss heel, and then of course the foot. So my sister was totally surprised by the socks, which was fantastic, and she really liked them. So I'm so glad, because I promised her some socks for a long time and I just never got around to it, so I finally did. So that's my first finished object, and just so you know, the yarn that I got is a surprise yarn that my boyfriend gave me, and I haven't opened it yet because I thought it might be fun to open it on the podcast as a surprise for me and you guys as well. So I'll do that later. But let's talk about my finished objects first. So my second finished object for this week is, of course, another pair of socks. And these are my socks from Bärenwolle in her Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds colorway, which is this sort of amazing speckly colorway. Which, could you please focus? Here we go. So you can see I knit a stockinette sock. I did 15 rows of 2x2 rib, and I put in a fish lips kiss heel. And I say this every week because I always do the same thing with my socks. I love the fish lips kiss heel so much. And a rounded toe. So this is on her soft, what's it called? And where did I put the lip? It's on, I think it was on her barefoot sock base, which is an 80/20 merino and nylon base. And the colorway is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And yeah, I did actually record this before, so I have no idea where I put everything since. But I knit this pair of socks on over 64 stitches on my usual 2.25mm needle, which is a US size 1. And I knit these socks like all of my previous socks on DPNs because I was going through a huge DPN phase. Whereas at the moment all I want to knit on is Magic Loop, which you will see later. So that's my second finished object for the week. And my third finished object is my Squishalicious shawl. So I was knitting this second version for the knit along. And I'm super happy with it. As you can see, it is quite large. It is more than my wingspan. So what did I knit? I knit the large size. So I did the body section in the large size, which used about 80 grams of my main color yarn. And this yarn is Life in the Long Grass in the Garden Party colorway on the dappled sock base, which is their 75/25 merino sock yarn, I believe. I really like how it is knit up with this textured sort of stitch. It is blocked out really well. And then the edging, I did a contrasting color with a half skein of yarn that I got from a lovely viewer of the podcast. And this is Malabrigo Finito, which is 100% merino yarn, I believe. It was quite a bit thicker than my than the Life in the Long Grass, even though it has similar yardage. But yeah, this was the colorway Lavanda. And you can see how much I have left. I have about 20 grams left of the main color and I think about 8 grams of the contrasting border. So I'm really happy how this turned out. I'll put it on really quickly because it is quite hot in here. But yeah, I felt like I was knitting on the large body section forever, but as soon as I just moved on to the edging, it suddenly went really fast and I finished it in a day. So I'm really happy with it. The texture is so squishy and I love it, and I think I'm going to wear this to death. So now I have 2 shawls. The last one I knit was in one color in the small size, and now I have a really large one as well. And you can see how, especially after blocking, it created a really nice drape, and I'm really happy with it. I knit the body section on 3.5mm or US size 4 needles, and then you're supposed to actually knit the edging on 4mm or US size 6 needles, just because this sort of texture stitch is really stretchy, so that it makes sense to go up a needle size on the edging. But because this Malabrigo yarn was quite a lot thicker, I actually just kept knitting on the 3.5mm, and it worked out fine. And you can see how large it is. So I'm really happy with this, and I will definitely wear this a lot once it gets a little bit cooler. So that's it for my finished objects, and I will move on to works in progress. First of all, let me show you my blanket. Last week I was halfway through this square at the corner. So all of these top squares were from Miss Mothballs on Etsy, who is a German indie dyer. So I finished this square, and then I knit 4 new squares, which are these 4. So this one is super bright. This was from my friend in Munich. The yarn is from Ätherische Öle und Meer on Lavanda, and it is crazy bright. This you might recognize is from my Bärenwolle socks that I just finished. This square is some sock yarn. I don't know what it is, but I really like it. And this blue one is again from my friend Marion, and this is a blue Wollmeise mini. So 4.5 squares, which I'm quite happy with because I've barely been here this week. I actually just got back pretty much right before we were recording this podcast. I've been away for about 5 days, and of course I didn't take my blanket. And if you're ever wondering how I knit my blanket, I have all the details on my Ravelry project page. So my next work in progress is, actually all of my works in progress are new cast-ons. So this is some yarn from Felt Fusion on Etsy. And again, I have lost the tag. But if you search feltfusion.etsy.com, you will definitely find her store. And this is her merino nylon sparkle base. And I have a very messy cake. There you go. And this is one of her club colorways. So I was part of her Alice in Wonderland club. And this is actually Alice. This is the Alice colorway. But she does sell these in her store regularly now, I think. So I cast on a sock for myself. And this is how much I've done. So I've done, I think, 25 rows of ribbing, which is quite a lot for me. And then just a simple stockinette sock. Let's see if you can see the sparkle. Focus. Oh, maybe you can, maybe you can't. Anyways, and I put in a Fish Lips Kiss heel. And now I'm almost finished with the foot. So this went really quick, and I just needed some simple projects because I knew I was going to be traveling on trains a lot and watching a lot of soccer, and when I watch soccer I need to knit socks. So yeah, I'm doing 64 stitches on a 2.25mm needle. These are my favorite needles for socks. These are my my Haya Sharps. The 40-inch cable, which is 100 centimeters. It's a little bit too long because I used to use these for my 2 at a time socks, but at the moment I just love knitting magically 1 at a time. So that's my first sock project, and I have other stuff lying around. Then I cast on another sock. I was actually not planning to cast this on, but my boyfriend had this skein of sock yarn that he wanted me to knit him socks out of for a long time. And I just kind of threw it into my bag as I went to travel to my parents' place. And I wasn't really planning on actually casting it on, but I thought I'd just take it just in case. But I did cast it on. So this is the yarn. It's from a German indie dyer. And her name is Wolkenschaft. Wolkenschaft.de, and I will of course link it in the show notes. Come on, focus. Why don't you focus? You just focused, didn't you? Anyways, I will link it in the show notes. The colorway is Sonntag. And you might remember I knit my boyfriend a pair of green socks a few weeks ago. And that was from the same dyer, but on a different base. So she has 2 different sock bases, and previously I've used her standard sock base, but this is her merino mix. So this is also a 75/25 yarn, but it is a lot softer, and I'm absolutely in love with this base. It is so soft and it knits up beautifully. So this is what I've done so far. I really wasn't planning on knitting on this a lot at all, but it just kind of happened because I was having so much fun knitting this and it just blew off my needles. So I actually cast this on during a soccer match, the one where Germany lost to France in the half finals. So I was knitting my 2x2 rib, and then France made a goal, and I was so shocked. Not only was it super sad that they won and we lost, but I pulled on the wrong cord, and I actually dropped 34 stitches. So it wasn't only sad that we lost, but I then had to spend half an hour picking up the stitches, which usually isn't a big deal, but especially because I did it on the ribbing, it was a little bit of a pain in the bum. but it wiped out, and as you can see, I am well on my way. I have put in a fishnet kiss heel. Please focus, come on. And I'm now working on the foot. And again, I'm doing magic loop, and as you can see, the yarn stripes really, really beautifully. I love it. I think this is sort of my favorite variegated kind of yarn that makes these thin stripes. I think it looks so pretty. And I love the base. Like I said, it's basically knitting itself, so I did order some more because I love it. So yeah, these are my boyfriend's socks. I cast on 68 stitches. And again, I'm using my Haya 2.25 millimeters, 40-inch cable, because I just love these needles so much. And I think that's why I was working on these really, really quickly, is because it's just the perfect combination of yarn and color and base and needles. I really, really like it. So that's my 2 sock whips. I have one more, but let me have some coffee first. So very randomly last week I decided that I really want to knit a featherweight, or a second featherweight cardigan, which is a pattern by Hannah Fettig. So I'll show you the yarn first because it's a new acquisition. This is the yarn I got. I actually got this from a local yarn shop that is literally 200 meters down the road. And it is a sort of just like a normal yarn store. They don't have a lot of fancy stuff, but they carry Mirasol Sulca Legato. And you can totally see the press, but I don't care. Come on, focus. There we go. So this is a luxurious blend of extra fine merino, baby alpaca, and mulberry silk. It's a 50 gram skein, and 50 grams are 250 meters, so it's a very light fingering weight. And it is 60% wool, 20% alpaca, and 20% silk, which I think is an amazing price point. It's an amazing yarn, and I really, really like it. I have knit part of a shawl out of the same yarn in a different color. This is colorway number 13. And you can see there's beautiful colors in here. I absolutely love it. There's like shades of blue and purple and magenta and gray, and I really, really like it. So I got 3 skeins because that's 150 grams, and my previous featherweight only took about, I think, 110 grams. Come on, focus on me, please. There we go. So I have started the cardigan, which is a top-down raglan cardigan. So you start at the collar and then you go down. So I've done a fair bit considering this is quite a thin yarn. You can see you increase here, and I'm showing you the right side actually. And I have not yet divided for the sleeves. I think I have a little bit more to go, and then I will divide for the sleeves and just knit straight down in stockinette, which will be super, super easy. So like I said, I've knit one before and I've just been using it all the time, so I figured why not knit another one. I actually almost killed myself getting that yarn because I completely randomly decided I need to run to the yarn store, and there's this quite big street, and we were walking on the opposite side, and I saw the yarn store and I just kind of checked if there's a car coming, and there wasn't, so I just kind of ran for it and completely forgot that there's a bike path next to the street. So I almost got run over by bikes, but I survived and I got my yarn like 10 minutes before they were about to close. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it to focus. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. I'm knitting this on my 3.5 millimeter Adi Lace needles. So Adi Lace needles are definitely my favorite for shawls and garments, and my favorite needles for socks are the Haya Sharps. And these are all fixed circulars. I think I really want to get some more because I have an interchangeable set by Knit Pro, the Knit Pro Novas. And I'm really happy with them, but for most things I prefer the fixed circulars. So I feel like I should just get myself a couple more so I have them in all the sizes that I need regularly. And that's it. So that's my last work in progress and also my acquisitions. So before, I recorded this before, that was it. But since I just got some yarn, I figured why not unpack it now. So the story behind this is that my boyfriend has been traveling like crazy and we haven't really been seeing each other, and we were on the phone and I was like, I want to buy some yarn because I had this phase of I don't like anything that's in my stash. So very randomly my boyfriend was like, oh, I'll order you something. But it'll be a surprise. So that's what he did. And I'm super excited because I have no idea. So there's this little bag. Oh, that's cute. I've got a little made by me tag. And just another sort of recycled paper tag. And this one, which is really cute. So that's in here. I really like it how they wrap their yarns. This is from Zauberwiese, who was a German indie dyer. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. This is gorgeous. This is their 7525 wool on polyamide sock yarn in the colorway Einladung 4507. This is actually a surprise to me. I had no idea what's in that bag. But I love that. That's gorgeous. That's so colorful. Oh, I want to knit this right now. So I should probably show you the label from Zauberwiese because you might not know it. Zauberwiese is a German indie dye who I've used quite a few times. I actually haven't ordered from them in ages. Whoops. But they were one of the first indie dyers that I tried, and I really like their yarns. Oh, he picked well, didn't he? So, Kai, if you ever watch, which I don't think you will, but if you do, thank you so much. So, that's that. And with that, I'm done with the Yarny acquisitions, but I have something else exciting to show you. So, I mentioned before that there are chatter prizes for the Squishy Co. And they're coming from Grace. And I should really find her tag. Oh, there it is. Who has the Etsy store, A Fandom Doodler. Go on, focus. Handmade bookmarks by Geeks for Geeks, which I think is awesome. So do check out her Etsy store because what she does is she makes bookmarks. And now my phone is ringing again. Oh my god. So I just ignored my boyfriend. I'm such a bad girlfriend, especially after he just gave me yarn. Anyways, I was talking about Grace, and she makes bookmarks based on characters of movies and series and shows. And first of all, she asked me which ones I like from her store, and I got 2. So she makes these herself, like these are pieces of art. This one I picked, this is Rena Ravenclaw from Harry Potter, of course. And I love that there's this extra sort of bit. So when you put it into a book, well, I don't have one here, this sticks out and it's just so pretty and I absolutely love it. And the detail with which he made these is just amazing. So this is the first one I picked, and the second one I picked is from Sherlock Holmes, the BBC version. And this is, of course, Watson, and he has his little beard, which he can put here, which I think is amazing. She actually had 2 different versions of him. She had a Victorian and a modern day Watson, I suppose. And I love these guys so much, and she has so many awesome ones. I think I had the hardest time picking. She had Games of Thrones and Marvel, and what else did she have? She had so many different ones. And I love them so much. And the good news is that 2 people from the chatter thread of the Squishy Co will also win one of these. So I will draw 2 people from the chatter thread once the Squishy Co is over. And then you can pick any bookmark of your choice from Grace's shop and she will send it straight to you. So Grace, thank you so much for sending these to me and also for offering them up as prizes. Please give her some support because I think that's really, really awesome. She's still really young. I think she just finished school and she's doing this in her free time and I love it. And of course, Grace was awesome, and she didn't only send me these 2 bookmarks, but she also sent me some amazing tea, most of which I've already drank because it was just amazing, and the sort of teas that I've been hearing about and seeing on podcasts and never got to try. So that was really, really exciting. So thank you so much. That's it for my acquisitions. Not to say that there aren't quite a few things on the way, but that's all I got at the moment, which I'm really, really happy about. Especially because I still can't believe that my boyfriend actually just picked a gorgeous skein of yarn and just completely scored. Sorry, I'm still figuring out the zoom. So that's it knitting wise, and if you're just here for the knitting, then that's totally fine, and I will see you next week. But if you want to stick around, I'll just quickly talk about what's been happening in my life. So, as you probably have noticed, it's been a little bit crazy. I really like recording every week on the same day, but that just hasn't been possible lately. But I am planning to get back to that. So today is a Monday, and I would really get back to a routine of recording every Monday because that makes it a whole lot easier for me. And I assume that you guys prefer that as well. And recording on a Monday means that starting the week, which is always a bit of a drag, I guess, for everyone, is a little bit nicer because I know that I'll be talking to you guys, and I really, really enjoy podcasting. But yeah, I don't remember when I recorded last. I think it was like 10 or 12 days ago. But I don't really remember what happened ever since that in my life because it's just been all over the place. But essentially, I've just come back today, actually a few hours ago, because I spent about 5 days with my parents. So originally, I had to go back up there. So for those of you who don't know, I was not living with my parents before, but I moved from another city close to my parents' house down to Munich, which is where I live now, about 4 weeks ago. So I've been going back and forth a few times ever since because, with moving, you just have stuff that you need to take care of. So I had to originally go up there to go to a doctor's appointment that I had planned a long time in advance. So I took the train up there on Wednesday, and on Thursday we went to Würzburg, which is where I had the doctor's appointment with my family, and then I used that opportunity to hang out with my friends, who of course now I can't see that often anymore because we've moved. Oh wow, that is stupid. I hope I didn't have that in the frame the whole time, but I probably did. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Anyway, so I caught up with 2 friends of mine, and it was really, really nice to see them again because we've been Skyping and keeping in touch pretty much all the time, but still. And I was going to take the train back to where my parents live, which is like a 45-minute drive or 1 hour by train. But I always have the worst luck in the universe with trains. Like, I'm probably going to just give up and take my car instead because whenever I take the trains, it never ever works. So on that particular day, the train just stopped working completely because some crane driver drove a crane into a bridge, into a train bridge, I suppose. So all the trains just didn't go anymore where I needed them to go, and I was freaking out and trying to get back to my parents' place. Thank God in the end it all worked out, and I got home, and I actually got to see my boyfriend who was working in the same city on that day, so that was really nice. So yeah, and then the next day I actually took the train up there again because I had a meeting with my supervisor. So for those of you who don't know, I'm currently working on my master's thesis for my degree in psychology. And even though I live here, I have my supervisor back at my old university, of course. So we met up, and this meeting was actually really important. I was quite worried about it because we were going to start analyzing the results from my big, huge survey that I did. So I didn't sleep too well the day before because I was really, really worried, but it went really well. It was the most exhausting meeting in history because it went for 3.5 hours. In fact, I think he would have kept me for ever and ever if at some point I just had to leave because my boyfriend was actually planning on driving me back home and so on. But anyways, it was a super, super long meeting. It was very intense, but we got amazing results. Like, I mean, usually with research, nothing ever works, and you don't really, get that much back. But yeah, we've got really, really great results, which make me super hopeful. And that was really, really good. Now I have a crazy amount of work that I need to do. In fact, I spent most of my training journey today hammering away at my laptop, trying to write syntax to analyze my data and all that. But yeah, it went really well. So my dad, he likes to drive cars and work on like classic cars and old timers and all that. And he has a lot of friends in that sort of scene. So he every year he has this huge party at this little place that he uses to work on his cars, like a little garage that he rents just for fun. And that's in the middle of nowhere on a tiny little village, and we were just sitting in the garden, having a huge barbecue, and it was really, really nice because I see all of these people pretty much once a year, if that. So yeah, that was really, really nice, and that was also a reason why we wanted to go up there. So that happened on Saturday, and then on Sunday I just hung out with my family, and my boyfriend actually drove off again because he's been working all over the place. And yeah, watched the soccer and just hung out with my family, which was nice. It's been crazy hot here, so we spent most of the time in the shade in the garden. And then this morning, on Monday, I took the train back to Munich, which is where I am now. So yeah, life has been a little bit all over the place. I'm not complaining because it was all things that were really fun. Like, I've really enjoyed seeing my family, I've really enjoyed being there for my dad's party, I've really enjoyed meeting my friends. But we have been moving a lot lately, or like moving around a lot. Like, we've been living here, or we've been theoretically living in Munich for 4 weeks. But we've only had one weekend together here so far, and with my boyfriend changing jobs, he's been working part-time in his old job, part-time in his new job, and he's just been traveling all over the place, which means that we've barely seen each other at all. I think we've seen each other about 3 or 4 days this month, and similarly last month. And that's about to end, so thankfully tomorrow is my boyfriend's last day at his old job, and then he has 2 days off to just kind of, you know, relax, even though it's not going to be that relaxing because his parents are coming to visit, which will be super nice, but yeah. But anyways, and then on Friday he starts working full-time at his new job, which means that he will still be traveling a little bit, but it will be so much easier. And also I don't have any urgent appointments back home anymore, so I'm really looking forward to that because yeah, we've been all over the place, and I feel like we haven't really settled in so far just because we weren't able to, just because a lot of time I was here alone, and then one of us was leaving and the other one was getting back, and I've spent so much time on trains lately, which also meant that I haven't been working as much as I would have liked to. So or both of us, we are really excited to just be home, or build our new home, I suppose, and start having a routine here, and yeah, just kind of build our new life in Munich. So that's going to happen next couple of weeks. I'm also looking forward to being able to have just more time at home so I can catch up on podcasts because I'm like a million light years behind on everyone's. And I would like to get back to replying to you guys on Instagram and all that because, again, I have been so terrible at that, and I'm really, really sorry about that. But I haven't been able to check my Instagram very often, and sometimes notifications get lost. So if you, for example, really want me to see something, maybe it's better if you tag me in the picture rather than just, tagging me underneath the picture using the Happy Knitting Podcast tag. Because if you actually mark me in the picture, it will permanently appear in my feed or in my profile. Because I get quite a lot of notifications, and sometimes I see that someone says something about, for example, the Squishalicious shawl, and then I can't find it anymore, which is a shame. And with that as well, we can always use the hashtags SquishyCal and Squishalicious shawl, because I do check these hashtags, and sometimes I find pictures of people's shawls who have tagged me, and I just didn't see it before because my Instagram didn't show it to me. So that being said, I'm really sorry if I haven't replied to anyone. I try to really reply all of the questions, but some comments I just, like, if they're not super urgent, sometimes I just don't answer, and don't think I don't read them. I really do want to reply to everyone, and it's just been a bit difficult. But like I said, I'm trying to get back into that, but at the same time, I don't want to spend hours and hours on social media, so of course, I just hope that you guys understand. And if you have any specific questions, it might be easier to ask in the thread on Ravelry, the Ask Away thread in the Happy Knitting podcast group, because there I'll have it more, like, that's the place which I check and usually always answer, where and things don't get lost as easily as they do on Instagram. So yeah, I feel like I say this every week. It's been crazy, and I hope it's going to be less crazy soon. And I say that every week, and then things stay crazy. But I'm really hoping that now things will calm down, because of all the craziness, I have been neglecting things. And for example, like, usually I'm pretty good with planning things and meeting people and having everything up to date. But with meeting friends and stuff, I've been messing up dates and getting confused and all that a lot, which is something I usually don't do. So I'm hoping that, yeah, things will become more of a boring sort of life routine, and I would really welcome that. On another note, you guys who have been talking about Gilmore Girls on Netflix, you have finally sucked me in, so now I am completely addicted to watching the Gilmore Girls. Because so many people have been mentioning on their podcasts that now all the seasons are up to watch on Netflix. So that's another reason why I haven't been catching up on podcasts. Anyways, now I'm just rambling on. I'm just starting to think whether I forgot something, but I surely did. But I think I've touched on most of the important stuff. So with that, all I can say is thank you so much for watching. If you've been watching for the first time, I hope that you've enjoyed it, and if you do, then do please subscribe, because that way, if I start moving around the dates again, which I'm not planning on doing, you'll always get a notification so you won't miss any podcasts. And besides that, I hope that you guys are doing well. Just know that I love to hear from you, so please always get in touch whenever you want to. I love getting messages. I like talking to you guys on Instagram, and seriously, having this podcast just brings me so much joy and happiness, and I love sitting down every week to talk to you guys. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope wherever you are, you're doing well. If you're having a very hot summer, I hope you're staying cool, and yeah, things are going well. I hope you're still knitting. Yeah. So with all of that, again, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next week.